Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Steph, and today's video is all about believing in yourself. So, since you clicked on this video, that tells me that you are someone with dreams and goals and things you want to accomplish in life. Am I right? I thought so. I also know that the number one thing and the most powerful thing that stops us are our own limiting beliefs. Our beliefs in who we are and our capabilities, and that hinders our success tremendously. This is completely natural, but in order for us to live out our dreams, and they are possible, we must retrain our minds to push through those fears and doubts, those self-doubts whenever they creep up on us. Once you start believing in yourself, you'll see it. It's not about never having fears or doubts. It's about developing the strategies to overcome them so they don't hold you back. In today's video, I'm going to give you guys 7 tips or strategies that help me believe in myself. So if you want to know what they are, then just keep on watching. My first tip is be aware. So since you clicked on this video, chances are you've already got this step down. You are already aware and recognize that you do have certain limiting beliefs, and that's a great thing. You are already so much further ahead than most people. Most people aren't aware and they don't want to do anything to change. So kudos to you. You got this. You know that those beliefs are not you and you are not willing to settle. Practice being mindful. Every time you have a limiting belief, acknowledge it and challenge it right then and there. These beliefs stem from our fears, so ask yourself, why do I think this of myself? What am I so afraid of? Get to the root cause so you can move past it. My second tip is reflect on past experiences and accomplishments. Make a list of all of the things that you've overcome in your life and things that you've accomplished, and carry it with you wherever you go. And when you're feeling down or discouraged, take it out and read it to yourself. You'll remind yourself like, hey, I've been through this tough situation, like I could get through this, or I've accomplished A, B, and C. Why shouldn't I be able to accomplish D? Look at how far you've come and be proud of yourself. Give yourself the credit you deserve for big and small things. It'll help wheel you back in when you get lost or sidetracked. My third tip is positive talk and affirmations. Watch what you say to yourself and be intentional with what you say to yourself. We so easily self-sabotage. And when you think about it, would you talk to your loved one the way you talk to yourself? Would you tell them they can't accomplish what they've set out to, or they're not good enough, or they suck? I don't think so. So the same way you encourage and support them, do that for yourself as well. Now, this is something I've struggled with for a long time. Even with starting this channel, like I would tell myself all the time, who would care what I have to say? Like, I don't have the personality for YouTube. There's so many other girls on YouTube, you know, doing what I want to do. Like, what makes me any different? I would also tell myself like I didn't know how to do certain things or set up things, and it would be too hard to learn, or I'm just not good at this or that. And I've obviously gotten over that. I mean, every time I sit down to film a video or to prep a video, those thoughts definitely come back to me, but I do not let them stop me anymore. I'm actually reading The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss right now, and in the book, he says, if you are insecure, guess what? The rest of the world is too. Do not overestimate the competition and underestimate yourself. You are better than you think. What I've learned is that no one is immune to insecurities. Like, even the big dogs at the top still have their battles. So don't feel like you're the only one. Our minds are so powerful. I say it all the time. They work overtime to protect us. That's really what fear is. It's just our minds' way of keeping us safe from harm, but we need to take control, and we totally can. When you hear yourself saying I can't, or I don't know, or what if, a red flag should immediately go up. The trick is to replace those limiting beliefs with what you would rather feel, and then ingrain it into your minds through constant repetition. That's why affirmations are so important. They override your limiting beliefs, but it has to be a daily habit. You're not just gonna wake up in the morning one day, look in the mirror, say some things to yourself, and then bam, you believe them. No, it takes time and consistency to reprogram and condition your mind. My fourth tip is to be clear on your goals. In order to accomplish your goals, you have to see them clearly. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. Remember that. So that's the first step. Visualize. See yourself having or doing whatever it is and actually feel those feelings that you would feel. But it's obviously not enough just to see it and hope that it falls into your lap one day. You have to take action. Sometimes we have really big goals. I know I do. And when you think about the end result compared to where you are now, there's a disconnect. And it can be very discouraging to think about because you don't know how you could possibly fill that gap. You don't know where to start, and you might just throw your hands up and not even want to try because it's just too overwhelming. But inaction breeds fear and doubt. So that's the worst thing you could do is nothing. You have to just start. That's key. And where a lot of people get stuck, where I've gotten stuck in the past. And the truth is, there's never going to be a perfect time. You're never going to be 100% ready. You're never going to know everything there is to know. You learn as you go. And that's another point I want to make. Create a plan, but don't obsess over the plan to the point where you never feel like you're ready to actually implement it. The key is breaking down those bigger goals into smaller, more attainable goals that'll be easier to accomplish quickly. Baby steps. Once you achieve that goal and the next and the next, you'll start building that momentum and confidence and see that if you were able to accomplish these goals, then you can very well make it to the end goal. My fifth tip is follow your fears. So as I mentioned earlier, fear is our mind's defense mechanism and its way of keeping us safe from harm. It's a biological fight or flight instinct that we all have ingrained in us as humans that dates back to the beginning of time when we actually had legitimate things to be afraid of, like lions and tigers. And from then, our minds were designed to keep us in survival mode, basically. The thing is, as we've evolved and become more civilized, now we don't have those kinds of fears anymore, but basically our mind can't tell the difference. So whenever it senses fear, whether we're nervous or we want to try something new and outside of our comfort zone, our mind will come up with any and every excuse to just keep us safe and keep us from getting hurt. Be mindful of this because a lot of the times we fear things that haven't happened yet. So our fears are irrational, false evidence appearing real. But it also means that we are getting out of our comfort zone, which is a good thing because it will allow us to grow. So don't wait until you have no fear to go after your dreams because you will be stuck forever. Tomorrow becomes never, so decide to do it in spite of your fear, or better yet, because of it. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "What you are afraid to do is a clear indication of the next thing you need to do." Don't let it restrict or paralyze you. Let it be your GPS, because when you're fearful, you're thinking about the future, the consequences. But when you take action, you're focused on the present, which is where you want to be. Remember that everything you want is on the other side of fear. So if you could just push through that, you'll get to the other side. Think about the worst case scenario. What's the worst thing that can happen? So let's say, I don't know, you want to audition for a role in a movie. Think about what's the worst thing that can happen if you go through with the audition. You might embarrass yourself, people may laugh at you, you may be rejected from the role, but you're still breathing, you're still fully capable of going on other auditions, so it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Chances are you'll take something away from that audition that you can improve on for the next audition, and so on and so forth. Now think about the best case scenario. You can wow everyone, just blow everyone away. You could immediately get the role and you could do an amazing job in the movie and maybe even become famous from it. So you see what I mean? You have to see both sides of the spectrum. Don't just focus all of your energy on what could go wrong. My sixth tip is be okay with failure. We are all so afraid of failure, but what we fail to realize is that failure is actually a good thing. We avoid things we're afraid of because we're afraid of the consequences of actually going through with them, but really the biggest risk is not trying at all. I saw this quote somewhere and it read, "Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. And it's so true. We need failure because that's how we learn, that's how we grow, that's how we change and become great. Did you know that Thomas Edison made 1,000 attempts to invent the light bulb? And when he was asked how it felt to fail 1,000 times, he replied, "I did not fail 1,000 times. I found 1,000 ways that won't work." If that's not inspirational, I don't know what is. With each failure, we become stronger and wiser and more experienced for the next step, just like a baby learning to walk. You learn what doesn't work, which in turn allows you to move forward towards what does. And before you know it, that baby is not just walking, he's running. Understand that failure is a part of being successful, and if you are failing, that just means that you're putting in the work and you're making things happen. Be persistent. If you tried something and it didn't work, try again. Switch up your strategy, just keep moving forward. And my 7th and final tip is to love yourself. There is no one in this entire world full of billions of people that is just like you. And you have the rest of your life to spend with yourself, so you better like the person in the mirror. Honor yourself. Embrace every part of you. Don't rely on others' validation to make you feel good about yourself. No one should have more power to make you feel good about yourself than you do. Don't compare yourself to others, whether in real life, but especially on social media. No one's life is perfect, no matter what it looks like on the outside. We all have our own journey to walk. When you love yourself, you want the best for yourself, and you do not settle for anything less. So those are all of my tips and strategies for helping you believe in yourself. I hope this video resonated with you in some way. If it did, let me know in the comments below what part resonated with you the most, and give this video a thumbs up if you like these types of videos so I know. If you're new, I really hope that you will subscribe. I just want us all to inspire each other. I hope you all realize that you are never being given a dream without also being given the power to make it true. That power is already in you. You just have to bring it out. Always remember to believe in the beauty of you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Mwah. Bye.